Hi everybody, welcome to Quarantine Kitchen. This is episode 9 and I'm your host Clinton. And today I am coming to you in my full glory, pajamas and bed hair, because we just woke up and we suddenly had a craving for pancakes. Went through my cabinet, realized we don't have baking powder, so I started to look at some alternative recipes. So today I'm going to be bringing to you some fluffy soufflé pancakes. So for this recipe, you're going to need your basics, obviously no baking powder, eggs. Now for this recipe, I'm actually going to be using quite a few eggs, so you'll need that. Flour, salt, vanilla extract, milk, and sugar. And that's all you're going to need for this recipe. So basically, to substitute the fluffiness that baking powder would give your pancakes, I'm going to be fluffing the egg whites from the eggs. So the first thing we're going to do is actually we're going to separate the egg yolks from the egg whites. And I'm actually going to show you how to do that because I know that some of you guys out there may not know the process that is. So watch carefully. Take your egg, crack it, and then turn it vertical, and then split your egg. And see how the egg yolk stays in? You're going to go back and forth between both sides of your eggshell with the egg yolk, and see how the egg white is separating from the egg yolk. And you do this until most of the egg white is separated. There we go. Now my egg yolk is cracked, so I'm going to stop. Put the egg yolk in the other bin, and there's our first one. And you're going to do that. So today I'm going to be making 2 portions of this recipe because we're hungry. So I'm going to be using 6 eggs. And as I go through this recipe today, if you guys are a smaller group, you can, of course, do half of the recipe. Okay, so we have separated our egg whites from our egg yolks. For the moment, you're going to go ahead and put both to the side. Take a large bowl, and we're going to mix together our main ingredients here. You're going to take 2 cups flour, followed by half a teaspoon of salt, okay. Then 1/3 cup whole milk. Tonight, or this morning, sorry, we're going to be using oat milk for ourselves. Then 2 teaspoons vanilla extract if you have it. Two teaspoons vanilla. 1, 2. And then you're going to take your egg yolks. So that's the yellow ones, in case you were not sure. Put it in there. And then grab your whisk and go ahead and mix all of that together. Until all the lumps from the flour is out. There we go. All right, so that's about the color you're going to be looking for after you put your egg yolks in. Set that to the side. And the next part is very important. Let's go ahead and head over to the mixer. We are going to fluff our egg whites. This part is super important because this is going to be our substitute for the baking powder. We're going to put the egg whites into the mixer, and then we're going to slowly add our sugar. All right, so put your egg whites into the mixer. That's 6 eggs worth of egg whites. Put it down, and then we're going to put it on medium-high. If you want to come up closer, we can take a look. Basically, you want the egg whites to start to thicken, and once that happens, we will go ahead and add our sugar. So let's wait for that to thicken a little bit. So now that our egg whites are starting to thicken a little bit, we're going to go ahead and grab a half cup of sugar, white sugar, and you're going to slowly add it to your egg whites. All right. Now the consistency of your egg whites are going to change. We're going to keep it going until we get stiff peaks on the egg whites. And I will show you what that looks like when we get close to it. It's important not to overdo your egg whites because actually you can make the egg whites dry. So this is a very, very key part of the process. It takes a little bit of time though. Again, why a mixer in this case is probably the best scenario. Alright, I think we're just about there. Let's go ahead and pull it out so I can show you the consistency you're looking for. Take a look at that and see how it looks like that. That's exactly what you're looking for, and this is what's going to replace your baking powder. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that to the side. Now this is a very, very important part. Go ahead and put your whisk to the side. You won't be using that anymore. And you're not going to just add it and mix it. Take about a quarter of the egg whites and go ahead and add it in there, more or less. Let's do that. And you're going to fold it in. The reason that this is important is you're trying to keep the air inside your egg whites. If you just mix it, you're going to cut the eggs, and then all the air will be lost. All right. Once you get that, you can add a little bit more. Do this in stages. The taste and the consistency of these pancakes are going to be a little different than, like, for example, American buttermilk pancakes or whatnot. But it's a nice variation of it, especially if you don't have baking powder like us today. In a future video, I promise you with 100% guarantee, we will do American pancakes, because if you know me, you know how much I enjoy them. So we will definitely be doing a later video on that. Okay, and then now that you've done your first two portions, you can go ahead and add the rest of the egg whites.
Get it all in there. Just keep folding it in from the sides until it's more or less mixed.
At this point, you can go ahead and turn your griddle on, which we have already. Put this to the side. And you're going to take a little bit of butter and you're going to put it into your griddle on medium temperature. And go ahead and melt some butter on the pan. Now for this next part, I like to use a ladle for putting my batter into the pan. You gotta be very careful and be very delicate with it because remember, it's a souffle. So, do something like that. Turn it up to, I have it on 8 out of 14. And go ahead and get a plate, put it to the side where you can put your finished pancakes. And this is going to be a little different than your regular pancakes, as if you're using baking powder, a lot of the time when you put the batter down, it seems pretty thin, and then it rises. With this type of pancake, you're actually putting it on already like risen. So, yeah, it's a little different than your normal cooking experience. All right, so we've been having it cook on one side a little bit. You probably see it doesn't change very much, but I can actually tell the consistency of the side of the pancake is different. See how it's molded? We're going to take it, make sure you get all the way underneath, and you're going to flip it, and there we go. Remember, these are going to be very, very fluffy compared to your usual ones. And we're going to go ahead and cook all of our pancakes, which I think we have enough for like almost 20 here. We'll definitely have enough for the days ahead, and then we'll do a taste test. So now we have our pancakes here. I'm going to eat mine with maple syrup, but I know everyone has their own preferences. Simon prefers honey or jam. Let's go ahead and try them. They're super fluffy. Look at that. And that's with no baking powder. Wow, yeah, that's super good.